you with a kind of different video today. For Christmas, about 30 minutes ago, got this, which is a handmade paper, like you can make your own paper kit thing. Basically these two frames and one side has a screen. Basically you shred up a bunch of like scrap paper that you don't use for anything else, and then you can use this screen to make your own like new sheets of paper. Since it's Christmas and we have a bunch of wrapping paper laying around, I proceeded to just cut it all up with scissors. This would be a lot easier if you had a shredder, I'm sure, but I don't have a shredder, so I proceeded to spend 10 minutes cutting all this up with a pair of scissors. I'm kind of doing this as like trial and error. I've never done this before. Like I said, I literally just opened this as a gift 30 minutes ago, and I was like, why not make a video? This sounds fun. For some reason, I thought you were supposed to soak it, but I guess not, so please hold. There. Sorry for the harsh lighting and the weird camera angle. I just wanted to give you an update. So what I ended up doing was soaking the paper. Even though the instructions on that say you don't have to soak it, I saw videos on YouTube where they were soaking the paper, and so that's what I ended up doing ultimately. The next step in the process is putting it in a blender, blending it up into like a weird pulp that's the consistency of oatmeal, and then you put it in this. You'll see. Okay, let's move on. Let me show you. Throughout the process of making this, I started to feel very reflective on the Bible verse about God making all things new. And it really put a whole different level of perspective on this process. When God says he will make all things new, he doesn't promise that that process is going to be painless, and he doesn't promise that that process is going to be easy. But it's so worth it. And it got me thinking about myself and, other people and how we view our lives. Sometimes life can really leave you feeling like you are that crumpled up piece of discarded wrapping paper. But God sees you and he says, "Behold, I make all things new. My mercies are new every morning." And I think that that is such a beautiful thing to reflect on, especially going into the new year. That crumpled up wrapping paper from where we had unwrapped presents on Christmas morning, sitting over there in the corner of our house, didn't expect me to start coming at it and start shredding it. And to be honest, if the wrapping paper was sentient, it would have been like, this is worse. This is worse than how I began. I was better off crumpled up and left in the corner. But the process of transformation is sometimes painful. But the process of transformation is also always worth it. Just despite whatever is going on in your life right now, God sees you, he hears you, he's there for you, he's fighting for you, And I think that's such an important reminder because He's working it all out for our good. And I think in times where you feel crumpled and discarded, it's important to reflect on God's promises to us, which are, my mercies are new every morning. I'm working it all out for your good. And behold, I make all things new. I hope that little reminder impacts you as much as it impacted me. Okay, so here are the 3 colors that I ended up with. I really like how they're more muted. So you can see it was a very vibrant blue, but it ended up being more muted once it dried. I really enjoy the muted colors though, so I appreciate that. And then there's like this tan one. The majority of the color on this one was tan with a little bit of red, and it just turned into this real natural toned brown. And also the method that I used with the iron really worked out well, I think, because as you can see, the texture on this is much smoother and more paper-like, whereas this one that dried overnight, it really retained that paper towel texture even after I ironed it. So I really recommend using the iron if you have the time, because it just creates this more paper-like finish. I feel like I like the finish of this better. And then the last color that I have is from this very red, very vibrant wrapping paper color, and it turned into like this just nice soft pink, and I think it's a beautiful color. So those are the 3 colors that I have, and yeah, I really enjoyed this process. It was really fun. I highly recommend doing this. I'm gonna go see what kind of crafts and activities I can do with these, and kind of if they hold up similar to what normal paper is. So yeah. One thing that I really, really love about this kind of paper is just how textured and cool the edges are. Again, as you can see, just to highlight the blues, because those were dried overnight. Here's the one that the cat paw print was on. It's cute. The blue ones that dried overnight, they have a thicker texture even after I ironed them. They're just thicker overall. The ones that don't have that thickness, the ones that kind of were ironed as part of the drying process, I think they turned out really, really cool. The blue ones are still really, really neat too, but I prefer the pink and the tan ones. Let's go make something out of this. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch that video. It was so much fun making my own paper and then painting on it. It was such a blast. So I'm actually gonna give this as a gift to someone. Yeah, it's so cute, and I would totally like hang it on my wall. I highly recommend making paper. It's a great recycling idea if you're into that. And it's just, it feels good to make something new out of something old. I will link some of the products that I used for this down below so that you can also get started in your paper making journey if you so desire. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever other time of day it is for you, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!